and end it with 2 votes. The first against 434, and then vote for 439. Paid for by Protect Our Rights.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of healthcare, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
This is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. Public safety is important in our community. I have a proven record of protecting public safety. I have prosecuted perpetrators of domestic violence, advocated for the rights of child abuse victims, held sexual predators accountable, and fought to keep drug traffickers off our streets. This is Senator Carolyn Bozin, and I will continue to fight to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bozin on November 5th. Paid for by Bozin for Legislature.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. See a chance of showers throughout the day. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and brief with the high around 59. Tonight, showers likely with the low around 42. And tomorrow, a chance of showers in the morning, then mainly sunny skies in the afternoon with the high around 55. Meteorologist Kyle Buck from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is UnKut with former Nebraska baseball pitcher Kyle Perry on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in, folks. I'm Kyle Perry. This is UnKut here on 93.7 The Ticket. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos, folks. These weeknight shows with Harrison and I, we like when we get input from the text line. Ain't that right, Harrison? So hit us up. Hit
Absolutely.
us up. We like
402-464-5685. Started him and text line. We do got NFL on the brick and mortar, though, so it might damper the text line.
Well, you know what?
But Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961. You can also text in on there. We got Chiefs hosting at Arrowhead versus Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's right. Plenty to talk about, though. Harrison, we
plenty of things that pissed me off this week.
Well, that's right. Absolutely. Likewise. It was the weather, the way the weather's been the last 2 days. It's kind of it's poetic with the with the vibe of that is Nebraska right now. In my opinion, and at least the way I'm feeling, it's kind of like you play Stand by Eminem and you watch out the window and there you have it, that's the state that Nebraska's in right now. Well, the mental state. So disappointing. We talk about it, man. It's not something we're not used to, Harrison. We've lived through some disappointing losses. And you see the way the state treats these guys. You see the way they support them through thick and thin. That's a big thing here in Nebraska. Through all kinds of weather,
through thick and more thick, and then we got more woods up ahead, boys. Don't worry, nothing too good yet. But hey, these woods will end someday, right, KP? There is an end to the tree line.
I don't know if there is. It seems like we're in the rough with a tree right in front of us where we're trying to hit the ball. That's kind of what it seems like.
Feels like the woods is 5 acres and we've just been walking in circles, not realizing.
Yeah. But it does bring up a funny point, Harrison, because in one of the first shows before or after I got back on the airwaves, I think I sarcastically mentioned last year's team getting stuck at 5 wins, and I don't know if you're offended or if you didn't pick up on my vibe, but
I didn't see it. I will say I'm still not saying they're going to lose out. I think they win 6.
I certainly hope not, because this has got to balance out at some point. You can't just you can't. What more of a silver platter can you ask for than a 2-win team coming into your place?
That just got done traveling to Rutgers all the way across the country. Right. I know they had a bye week, but still
with an encouraging loss the week previous too. Yeah. Trading blows and having a real shot of winning the game against one of the best teams in all the land. And you turn around, lay an absolute dud against a 2-5 UCLA team that had no business playing with you. I mentioned it last night. I never thought that Nebraska was going to come in and steamroll. They have proven
the offense can't steamroll.
The offense has proven, yes, throughout the entire season they've been consistent. There hasn't been necessarily a run it up a scoreboard in favor of Nebraska this year. Kind of like what Indiana did to us, sort of a win. And that's including the weaker opponents we faced earlier in the season. But I digress. So I was never expecting for a super lopsided scoreboard, but to see the result that we saw, that was incredibly surprising and embarrassing, for a lack of a better word.
It was 27-7 at one point, which is, credit to them for fighting back, but my Lord.
And I mentioned last night, my frustrations, you have down games, right? Sometimes you just don't got it. And as a pitcher, I know that more than a lot of athletes, when it comes to you either have it or you don't sort of thing. But here's where I was frustrated, Harrison. You can talk on it. It seemed like there was a moment there in the fourth quarter where the offense or whoever kind of looked in the mirror and realized, oh, if we lose this is going to be bad. And they kind of kicked it into another gear, which is disappointing, because I always think football is a great game, and and usually the best team wins every single time, right? Because you have 4 quarters to strategize to beat your opponent down mentally, physically, and what have you. And Nebraska didn't even really threaten UCLA until late in the fourth quarter, and that's where I'm frustrated. Is that it was a noticeable switch that was flipped. It's almost like they had it in the tank. They just weren't choosing to kick it into that gear that it took to win the game, and it was literally too little, too late for the Huskers. And game knows that's how it goes if you're playing lethargically, not to win.
Word. That's a good word.
Not to, because that's what I got. That's what I got from watching the game. It was apparent. They're like, it came back to like how I broke down the Indiana game. It was from the jump that it was like the game meant nothing to the Huskers. When it should mean everything, right? When you're playing for that 6th win, especially after the 8-year drought we're on right now.
When you're playing for the first win at this point,
yeah.
Like if you hook, bait, and switch, they got me. Championship mindset. Like I was like, all right, I'm choosing to believe this. It's set in, right? It's sprouted. If that's the case, like you obviously don't have the start with UCLA, but like it's just I can't put my finger on it at all. The inconsistency is what blows my mind. Like you said, to go from Indiana, brutal loss. You got to sit on that one. Then you get a chance with Ohio State after the bye. Then you're like, okay, close game there, championship mindset. And then they go to UCLA. And what pissed me off about that game is they were talking all sorts of crazy before the game even started. Like they came into Lincoln talking crazy to you, not just disrespecting you right out of the gate. They get an unsportsmanlike calls during the game, just talking crazy to you. And you don't respond. They punch you in the mouth on an 8-minute drive. I know you're going to stop. They only get 3. But the next drive, they punch you in the mouth again, and they march down the field. But our response to that first long 8-minute drive where they got all of Memorial Stadium just sitting on their hands like, oh boy, like this isn't good. 8 minutes, we can't do anything. And then to have the offense, after you just get punched in the mouth, go 3 and out, and then 3 and out, and 3 and out. Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. At some point, and it's one thing if you're playing an opponent that, like, you know what, these guys are really good. They're executing, you know, they're just making great catches on these 50-50 balls. It's guys wide open. On the offensive side of the ball, it's just not running hard enough routes. It's running backs getting hit 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, miscommunication. And to your point, where is that energy? It has to be whatever they bottled going against Colorado at home, the way they were not going to allow Colorado to embarrass us at home, because we knew that they were talking crazy. Say what you will about Colorado, that's been their MO, and they get hyped for it, and they look like one of our best wins at this point in the season. But we had a passion there that I'm assuming was there during the week of practice, that we were not going to let that happen, that we refused to get embarrassed in Lincoln at our home stadium. And for whatever reason, that has not been there consistently. And that is not, that's not a championship mindset.
No, I think that definitely stems from, I guarantee those guys, if you were to get an honest poll from that locker room, that I bet you they didn't prepare nearly as well.
Which is so annoying because,
or intentful as they normally would.
4 weeks in a row, we've heard Matt Rule say he was surprised by the result.
See, that's crazy, and it does stem from the top up, especially when it comes to a motivational standpoint. Because as a coach, there's only so many things you can do to directly impact your players and the game itself. In hindsight, and getting your team prepared, a lot of that I feel like is motivating. At least that's how I think. Motivating your team to go out and do the job and come out on top. I feel like that's a big characteristic in any coach in any sport. And I'm still a Matt Rule guy, but to have a little bit more answers there as to why we're getting that this disappointing product that we've been receiving the last few weeks. But I think the red flags were there, though, Harrison. I mean, I said it in the UNI game, after the UTEP game, how the scoreboards in those games were, not as lopsided as you would expect, especially when you think of the hype that was around the talent on this team and the firepower that we were going to bring to the table. And like you said, they got up for that Colorado game, and I'm not going to be ever mad about a win. And I think I said it last night that say Nebraska went out this weekend and won 14-10. People would probably be skeptical or maybe even upset. Obviously, hindsight, we would be thrilled with a 14-10 win over a poor 2-5 UCLA team, but that's not what we got, and it's unfortunate. And I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but football's prioritized here. We know this, okay? And it's the hamster that makes the wheel go. If football, you think about it. I mean, football was incredible, late 90s, right? And obviously previous years and decades before that, they've obviously a powerhouse. But I'm just thinking of how the other sports followed suit. I mean, the early 90s or the late 90s, when going into the 2000s, Nebraska was a freaking household name, a force to be reckoned with. And I felt like that trickled over to sports outside of football at the school. And so I think that's where a lot of my frustration comes from, is that I feel like a lot of the teams are actually picking up their end of the bargain. And football, which is the prioritized sport here, which is the hamster that makes the wheel go, is falling dramatically behind when given all these golden tickets here in Lincoln. And that's where my frustration stands.
I just
take it
don't
with
know
a grain
where
of
to
salt.
I don't know where to look, KP.
But it's just inexcusable. That's why.
I might start yelling at the
If
lunch
we're-
ladies at the training table for having the wrong meal plan.
Absolutely
Like,
not.
what-
Absolutely not.
How many rocks I got to flip over? Is my point.
Because all the strings are being pulled behind the scenes by the people that really care. It just ultimately comes down to that roster, the coaches and players in that locker room, that they need to get it done. Because like everyone knows here, the well-being of the state relies on their results week in, week out.
I think it makes more
and
money.
and that's never been a secret. And the fans are going to keep showing up. What it's going to take, I'm not sure. So I guess if you address a problem over and over without a solution, then it's just complaining. But then call me a complainer. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, let me ask you this. There was a former black shirt that had a pretty statement about the fans leaving early, wasn't happy about it. What's your take on that?
Yeah, take care of business. I don't know. I mean, I can't. I just can't. I can't relate, because if we are playing a cold game, that same temperature in the spring against say UNO, it's happened before, and we're losing to them by 5 runs, and people are leaving. That wouldn't be a foreign sight. I wouldn't blame them. Would I like for them to stay? Sure, but you can't blame them.
My whole thing is like they pay for the tickets, right?
It's their life. They're wasting their time and their mind, and that's fine, because
they're not happy with it. Why they got, if they spent the money, to be happy and enjoy the product. Yeah, they bought it to support you, but they're also not. They paid the money. You got the money. All right, they're helping out the program.
Yeah,
they just didn't like the product and they didn't want to watch it anymore.
They did their part.
It's like, how many, I've bought a movie before and I've gotten halfway through the movie and been like, man, this thing stinks.
Yeah,
I know I paid for it, but I'm not going to finish it.
They did their part. That's, I don't think that's a fair gripe necessarily.
I don't think you have to be. I respect people who do it, but you're not a real fan if you don't appreciate what's being served and don't want to watch it.
Yeah, that's and that's fine. I mean,
this program will never have absolute apathy, though.
I mean, you have you have 85,000 more people sitting there.
Yeah,
waiting for something to happen.
5,000 left. Sorry.
Watching freaking paint dry.
Exactly, and that's what if even when we were coming back, I was like, "There's no way." And it's the drop passes on top of, I thought Harvard coming in with all the injuries on top of it, having to know the calls. I actually thought he did an okay job. He made a silly error at one point, when we really needed to save clock. But you just look at everything in that game where at the end we get a chance, we're just dropping balls that are hitting players in the hands.
Well, and that's up here. In my opinion, that's mental.
And that's cursed, this place, and that's where I don't know which rock.
Well, no,
out.
But that goes back to my earlier point that that I think they were with just right along with the preparation. I think they attacked the game just brutally, clearly without their hair on fire at all. To UCLA playing like they were a 5-win team instead of a 5-loss team, ironically enough. And we played like the 2-win team. But to see that that second gear turned on towards the end of the fourth quarter, that's where those mistakes, you look back on those mistakes and it's like, why?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, then they turn it up. They lock in there for the last few minutes, make it close, tease us all a little bit. And that's where the frustration comes from, because it's I feel like they were not dialed in enough, and I'm sure the players would probably strongly disagree and stand up for themselves, and that's totally fine.
I don't think they would this week.
I get
think
it.
Most of them would be,
but
you don't lose like that.
No, you don't.
Double
you don't.
down.
But I'm just, it's nothing personal. It's just it's disappointing, and the fans have all the right in the world to be viciously upset. At the end of the day, it's just a sport, yeah. But that it's more here in the state of Nebraska.
It's a business, right?
It is.
There's serious money going into it. That's why.
But there's a lot of people that really care,
yeah,
and that rely on this to bring them joy, and it's tough to be results based in sports, because eventually you get heartbroken. However way you look at it, whoever you're rooting for, but stuff like that just shouldn't be happening, especially at a place like Nebraska. So for that, I'm quite disappointed.
Well, we got to go to break here, KB, but I'm curious on the other side. We got 3 games left. We'll talk about all 3 of them. I'll ask you if you think we get one of those, but get us out of here.
Well, yeah, we'll just have to see about that. It's going to be an interesting last few weeks to wrap up the season. But we'll be right back to it. Kyle and Harrison on UnKut.
Nebraska. Voters will have the chance to end the current government abortion ban. The government shouldn't be making decisions for families' health care, but right now they are. Ending the ban takes 2 votes. A vote against 434, the first initiative, and then a vote for 439, the last initiative. It's only this combination that will finally get the government out of the personal medical decisions of Nebraska families. Voting against 434 and for 439 ensures that when there's a medical emergency, it's Nebraska families who decide what to do, not the government. This vote against 434 and for 439 makes it so our Nebraska doctors can treat every patient. The government put this ban in place, stripping Nebraska families of their freedom, but you can end it with 2 votes. The first against 434, and then vote for 439. Paid for by Protect Our Rights.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of health care, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Hi, this is Investigator Joe Villamonte with the Lincoln Police Union, asking you to vote for Carolyn Bosin for legislator. As a prosecutor, Carolyn Bosin has always supported law enforcement to keep our community safe. Carolyn Bosin has the experience we need. Carolyn Bosin is the only choice for legislator to keep our community safe. Join the law enforcement community in voting to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bosin on November 5th.
Paid for by Bosin for legislature.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The electrical workers of local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today. The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street. Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The Link Grill Draft and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Back to UnKut with Kyle Perry on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back, folks. Back to UnKut here on 93.7 The Ticket. Kyle Perry here, and Harrison Arns working his butt off over there on the one. Just a message to the people. Prioritize your people, man. Tell them you love them. just a good reminder. I saw a lot of people I love this past weekend. It was great to see them, and it's been a minute for a lot of them. But the good thing about my people, I feel like every time I see them, it's like you pick up right where you left off, and it's a great feeling. So text one of your loved ones, tell them you love them.
Yeah,
Say what up. Yeah, no doubt.
Your mom would appreciate it.
Absolutely, especially in a time that it doesn't seem so great to be doing that. Because you might step on toes telling someone you love them or something. I don't know. But yeah. Shout out to the people. If you're listening, man, thanks for tuning in. Happy Monday to you. This time change has got me all wacky, dude. I really don't like this the fallback. I do like the night of sleep I get when it falls back, but when it starts getting dark around 5, I've never really been fond of that. So we're gonna grind it out though. That's what we do. Are we going to win against USC after this bye week? Hard telling, Harrison, but we're gonna be half glass full people to end the second half of the show. The first half, if you weren't here for it, wasn't really glass half full.
Pretty scorched earth there.
Probably a glass quarter full, if that. Yeah, Harris and I had some not so nice things to say about
about each other.
No, we have plenty of nice things to say about each other, Harrison, and but not so much the football contest that went down Saturday. But the past is in the past, and the rear view mirror is smaller for a reason. You know what they say?
Hey, I love
than
that.
the windshield.
I've never heard that. That's a good one.
So there you go. It's going to be hard to move on though, because
objects appear closer than they are.
Because really, it was kind of like last year. We're in a deja vu situation where I remember each week we lost. That final 5-week stretch of last season. We're working out in the mornings and seeing the bowl game appearances.
Yeah.
Just kind of laughing at the fact that might not change, and it didn't change. And here we are in a different situation, not working out and seeing that banner every day. But which I think it's also less funny to me because I'm not working out and having something to look forward to and help do our job in the athletic department and give the Husker fans some hope in different spots other than football. So since I don't have that priority on my list nowadays, the losing part is a lot less funny, more concerning, and it almost makes me angry, which is all kind of new feelings I'm getting after spending 12 semesters in Lincoln. I'm seeing things from a totally different point of view that I haven't seen since probably pre-college, but still probably stronger.
Sounds like Chancellor Brewington. He's been going through that same thing.
Yeah. Yep. And I can only imagine as a football player himself.
Because when you're on the team, you just want to defend the guys when you're on more of a fan perspective. Not saying Brewington's like, this guy's doing X, Y, and Z. I was never.
No, he's absolutely
because he was part of that process that really trying to break through and try to go bowling. But he's like, as a fan, especially when you're watching on TV, not just from an individual perspective, you pick out all these small things where it's like, we can do better there, this, that, and that. When you're actually doing it, unintentionally or intentionally, you give yourself a little bit of a bias.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You're trying to help. You're trying to solve the problem when you're doing it. That's why when I talk about the players, I'm not getting personal with it. I'm not saying that they're not attacking each week, trying to do their best. Working hard, blood, sweat, and tears. I get it, man. I get the grind. It's just more so when it comes to getting the job done with a bowl game, first bowl game in 8 years on the line against a very, very below average team at home. If it's a snow, if it's a not snowy, obviously they'd be in LA. But if they're on the road and it's raining and there's 10 people in the stands and you have every excuse or every alibi in the book that you could throw at that flat of a performance from the team, then okay. But but when you're hosting a 2-5 team at home with a chance to punch your ticket to a bowl for the first time in almost a decade, that's when it gets kind of infuriating.
Well, I was going to ask you, there's 3 games left. USC, who Lincoln Riley and USC having a awful
Suboptimal.
season to their awful to their standards,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you're USC, then you got Wisconsin, who's been playing better ball, and then you got Iowa, whose offense has been not like electric to watch, but better than you'd expect.
A winning offense.
Winning enough, right? They don't have to do crazy, but every now, I mean, you've seen them pop off for 40. But Wisconsin's the only one at home. USC and Iowa are both on the road.
Well,
do we just need one? Do we get one?
Well, I mean, USC fans probably aren't too fired up about their team's season so far. So I doubt that their fans are gonna, greet you with a fury that you'd probably get if they're a top 15 team or something.
They're going to play mad, and they have pushed good teams like Penn State.
But I mean, that's Lincoln Riley is a good coach, and I'm sure he's going to have those guys ready to play us. I'm not saying we don't stand a chance. Obviously, we have shown what we're capable of. Exchanging blows with the Buckeyes a couple weeks ago. I mean, that's not easy to do. Like I like to say about football, you have all that time to beat down your opponent and run away with the game. And Nebraska didn't let that happen against Ohio State, which is almost just as concerning as to why, and makes those question marks a lot bigger when it comes to how does a performance like this last Saturday occur. At least that's where I'm thinking. But USC is going to probably be ready to play. Nebraska better be, because that won't be a handout. Wisconsin
always been so tough for us, regardless of how it's looked, good or bad. It's always been one score, feels like.
Yeah.
Outside of the Todd Gurley days where they just had a
right
monster running back after monster running back.
So we'll see about Wisconsin and Iowa's a wild card, but if you really want my honest feeling, I don't think we're going to get it done. And the only reason I say that is because my intuition has been so spot on with the last few major sports events. So I'm just gonna say that to put that in the universe, and hopefully we mix up some magic to finish the season off for the Huskers. But after that one, we talked about it last week too, Harrison. If they don't win Saturday, which was a laughable thing at the time,
there's a chance to go 0-4.
Yeah, that we could be Groundhog Day and from our last year's performance, which was extremely laughable, the way that finished off. So that here we are again, brother.
Yeah, we just need one though.
Yeah,
I've just got clinging on to that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I do think USC's prime for the picking, but not if we don't fix the attitude, whatever that is. Whether it's like confidence issue, whether you're not getting coached hard enough, whether you're just not taking in the hard input. I don't know who's wrong, and that's why I keep going back to you. I can flip over every rock, but at some point, like, what do you need? You got is it arguably the best facility since those got finished.
Yeah.
Like I said sarcastically, I'm not going to start yelling at the ladies at the training table. That meal plan is incredible. So you can't be telling me you're getting the best nutrients. You should be able to become the best possible athlete. So what's left is coaching. And then if you're going to listen to that coaching and execute.
Because
Indiana doesn't have
not,
what you have.
I'm not expecting an 18-year-old quarterback, regardless of how talented, to come in and put an entire team on his back. If that's what you've been expecting of Raiola.
I was expecting the other pieces to click better, like help him out. This is a very veteran offensive line. These are good wide receiver transfers, and I refuse to believe this is all he got. I think they're better players than what we're seeing.
I think they're much better, and that's why that second effort, if you will, in the fourth quarter, to try to salvage the game, that came up tragically short. I think that's why it's that much more frustrating, because they have shown to us pretty much for the entire year that they have the pieces. They can play. Nair is one of the best.
They're big.
I mean, that guy makes incredible catches left and right. I just don't know. The offensive line has shown promise before. Our defense has made a case in weeks prior to be one of the strongest and most intimidating defenses in all the land, which Um,
The only thing that's been hurting us really is the QB runs, which
Yeah.
is a little bit concerning because it's at UCLA.
and I don't think it's on the defense.
I mean, certainly at times when you're, some of our corners, when you know where your inside helps at, you know where that safety over top is, you got to force your guy that direction. Like if you're going to give him all that open space and for be on the wrong side, I mean, that's an easy read for the QB to throw away from that safety and whatever side that corner's at. And there's a few times that happen. It's like, you got Eric freaking Bieniemy over there. You don't think he's going to see that? And
Yeah.
that's it with Deshaun Foster. He's a first-year head coach, but you got to look at who his assistant coaches are.
Yeah, and I'm not the biggest on X's and O's when it comes to football.
They're fixable. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no
Like,
doubt.
Fixable, and that's why we're late in the season. It's like, why are we still seeing
No doubt.
this?
But it's like, where is the pride part of it? That's kind of where I'm most frustrated about it. And it's like, how is a team collectively not able to get the collective job done when one win is all you need to punch your ticket to a bowl game? If you win this Saturday and you lose out, Husker fans are going to be so freaking excited.
They'll
to
just be
watch
happy
you
to have that
in
monkey
bowl
off
season.
the back.
Crazy. But it's like where somewhere along the line, it's like these games lost their meaning. I don't know if we just put all our eggs in that basket of Buckeyes.
It feels like Colorado. And I'm like, Ohio State was
Yeah.
a little bit of just a moral victory, but they don't do anything anymore.
Yeah, it's so that's where I'm most frustrated. Is just it seems like a culture potential, a culture issue maybe, and I'm sure there's still a lot of guys in that locker room that when they got down, they might have been looking around like, oh, here we go again. But that's also part of the issue, if you ask me. And from what has been pushed out, media wise, which obviously, the perception of the program is big when it comes to recruiting and stuff, but you would think this culture that they got going on is airtight.
Yeah.
And then it's right where it needs to be. The rule aid was strong.
I took a couple swigs.
Oh, dude, I was drunk off it the entire lead up to the season. And hand up, and so that's why the lack of success that we're facing right now frustrates me the most, as I thought it was airtight. But hey, you know what? We'll talk more Husker sports, Husker football on the way back. This is UnKut 93.7 The Ticket.
Across Nebraska, voters will have the chance to end the current government abortion ban. The government shouldn't be making decisions for families' health care, but right now they are. Ending the ban takes 2 votes. A vote against 434, the first initiative, and then a vote for 439, the last initiative. It's only this combination that will finally get the government out of the personal medical decisions of Nebraska families. Voting against 434 and for 439 ensures that when there's a medical emergency, it's Nebraska families who decide what to do, not the government. This vote against 434 and for 439 makes it so our Nebraska doctors can treat every patient. The government put this ban in place, stripping Nebraska families of their freedom, but you can end it with 2 votes. The first against 434, and then vote for 439. Paid for by Protect Our Rights.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of health care, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Hi, this is Investigator Joe Villamonte with the Lincoln Police Union, asking you to vote for Carolyn Bosin for legislator. As a prosecutor, Carolyn Bosin has always supported law enforcement to keep our community safe. Carolyn Bosin has the experience we need. Carolyn Bosin is the only choice for legislator to keep our community safe. Join the law enforcement community in voting to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bosin on November 5th.
Paid for by Bosin for legislature.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The electrical workers of local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today. The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street. Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
You're listening to UnKut with Kyle Perry on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, and welcome back here at UnKut. I'm Kyle Perry, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We're having a great time here on this drizzly, cold Monday night here in the heart of downtown Lincoln. It's a pleasure to be with you guys.
It's been a couple days, after they say the sun always comes up the next day. Mother Nature bounced after that UCLA loss.
And rightfully so. I wouldn't stick around too if I had the option.
Taking a break. Like, you know what? Let me stay off the roulette.
And then the worst part too is you got to sleep on it. You got to sit on this for an entire week.
2 weeks. Bye week.
Yeah, it's miserable.
We don't go to USC until not this weekend, but the weekend after. So you got to. I mean, it's a time to figure it out.
It could have been a great thing too. We could have had a couple weeks to bask in it. Really,
be really happy. Just like, ooh, are we gonna be in the Duke Mayo Bowl, the Chick-fil-A?
Seriously,
that one. That's a little too high praise for us these days.
No, we're gonna get the Spaghetti Works Bowl or something if we get there, and that's a tall task right now at this point. But man, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's ever guaranteed right now. It's a 76-65 game when it comes to men's basketball over across the way at Pinnacle Bank. So that's at least a bright light here in Husker country.
A little closer than you were hoping for, but they'll take a win.
But see, it's basketball, though.
Exactly. You'll take the win.
Just like baseball, you any team can be beat on any given day. My mom loves that saying, so shout out, Mom, if you're listening.
It's the 12 turnovers. It's like, oof. Yeah. They got 18 turnovers, and it's like we got to capitalize off those
that's
boys.
Fine. Early in the season, brother. We're gonna be all right.
12 isn't a horrible number.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things where it's a controllable. So if those things if you can rebound well enough, not turn the ball over, and have a good assist numbers, typically that's all good indicators of a really consistent team. Maybe not the best, but consistent.
If we're scoring enough, that's good to see. How much time's left in that one?
We got 3.5 minutes, essentially. Leading scorer for Nebraska so far. Good to see Connor Segan. He's got 13 points, 3 for 4 from 3, doing what we got him here for. Juwan Gary with a rough day, 1 for 7. I'm going to assume it's Bryce Williams leading in points. Let me get the actual box score.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Bryce Williams, he's got 27 points, leading scorer, 8 for 18. Tough from the 3-point line, though, 1 for 6. Couple of turnovers, 5 rebounds, 0 assists, though, which
love Husker basketball. It'd be great to have another entertaining season of basketball, but like we've mentioned in shows previous, it's tough to have super high expectations for our basketball program
because they've never achieved it before. I mean, It's doing something that's never been done here.
Right. It's hard. You can't carry that same expectation from football to basketball and so forth, really. Baseball, I can understand. People have got to see them in the World Series. So I can understand a certain expectation to be reached every year for baseball.
I think the goal in baseball is I think people believe it's because the Big Ten isn't, it's good, but not dominant. I think the expectation for baseball is can we be the front runners in the Big Ten consistently?
Well,
to be the team in the big.
That'd be great. Absolutely. But
you're adding some dogs
when it comes to absolutely. When it comes to baseball, like I said, any team can be beat. It's not like football where you got these powerhouse schools and then there's everybody else. It's not like that. Baseball doesn't receive nearly anywhere close in the Big Ten to the kind of funding, the NIL funding, the NIL abilities to just poach players from the portal. But there is a lot of really, really good talent in the Big Ten. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But also nationwide, the Big Ten doesn't really receive too much respect. I mean, in 21, we won the Big Ten outright in a Big Ten only schedule, which I get that if you use that to your argument. But to win a league, a Power 5, a league outright, in regardless of any year, you can't get stuck.
Well, it's not like the Big Ten's never won titles either.
Yeah, but you can't get stuck with the number 1 overall seed like that. Michigan, my freshman year, they barely snuck into the dance, and they played spoiler in the number 1 overall seed, the UCLA regional, and then they ended up punching their ticket all the way to the last game of the college baseball season for all the marbles against Vandy, coming up short. But I mean, they're 1 win a game or 1 win away from a national title. Michigan was, and we had won 3 of 5. So just a little context for how baseball works. It's really not the same.
Fair enough.
As the other sports. You just have to pay attention enough. But yeah, the Big Ten baseball doesn't get too much respect when it comes
not as much as they should
to the critics, no doubt. And it's a competitive league. It's an ultra competitive league, and it's only going to get more competitive with the additions made to the conference in this offseason. So I'm really looking forward to the spring. Hopefully we can punch a ticket to a bowl game in the next 4 weeks. We will be on back on tomorrow night here on UnKut, and we'll dive a little bit more into the world of Husker sports. Harrison, what a pleasure. Go out and vote tomorrow, folks. Practice the great right you have as an American, and go do your civic duty. And have a great rest of your night, folks. This has been UnKut.